It's time to pull those belts tight, race fans. The front stretch is coming at you, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Now, here's Dan Taylor and Dirk Houston.
Well, good morning to you, race fans, and welcome to the front stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com. Fast-paced, white-knuckle racing just across the river on 23rd Avenue. Get over to Joe's today. Do yourself right with a little indoor kart racing. And I don't know if you guys saw it on Facebook, but Tracy Weber decided he's a big deal after beating up on little old me, and he called me out on Facebook.
He threw the gauntlet.
Yep. So coming up May 14th, I think that's the 14th. I may be getting that wrong. No, it is May 14th. We are going to have another showdown, and I'm going to get a 3-lap advantage, and if I can beat Tracy Weber, he's going to give me some free races.
Is it a 4-lap race, and you get a 3-lap head start?
Come out to Joe's Karting May 14th for the Weber-Taylor Showdown, version 2.0. We're going to see if I can take a 3-lap advantage all the way to the checkered flag.
I got to get a hold of Brendan Gaughan and get some spread put out on this deal.
Yeah, see if Vegas will take any money on it. Hey, before we get started, we talked about a passing last weekend, and we got some information on a visitation coming up.
Yeah, Steve Peoples' wife, Mary, passed away, and I know a lot of the Pro-Am racers and stuff over the years know Steve from the track. Great guy, great lady. They're doing a celebration of life for Mary on Saturday, May the 4th at the Legion Post on Front Street in Valley, Nebraska, and it's from 1 to 4. So Steve wants to see everybody out there. If you can make it, head out and pay your respects.
Joining us on the show now, one of the announcers down at Shelby County Speedway, and they're going to get their season started off this coming Saturday, April 27th, opening up the Sport Compacts, Hobby Stocks, Sport Modifieds, Stock Cars, and Late Models. Bob Simon joining us on the show. How you doing, sir?
How we doing? It's great to be on the line with the legend and Dan.
Oh, I'm going to be a legend after May 14th, I'm telling you.
That's the only way he's going to be a legend.
I heard you get a 3-lap advantage, and I still think you lose by half a lap.
Half a lap? I'll take that money. Any day of the week, I'll take that.
You got 3 times to put Tracy in the wall. So if you can't get it done, he's got to pass you 3 times.
Tracy's going to be going by way too fast, and we know Dan can't react that fast.
Well, this is a slick track.
This
is a slick track, so the speed's not really a big deal.
Well, he's already going to be spinning out. So.
Well, I wish Bob was wrong, but it happened last time. When he blew by me the last time, I thought I'm going to give him a little shot in the left rear, and I couldn't get close enough. I couldn't even get into the corner fast enough to move in.
I see this as a Mario Kart slipped on a banana peel type going on.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is if you would have spun Tracy out, it wouldn't have been like Kurt Busch spinning out Kyle. He wouldn't have got over it.
Yeah, that's true. I might not have got my water barrel from him. He might have told me I was number 1 in his own fun little way. Hey, Bob, thanks. We're getting a little sidetracked. By
the way, I'm here. I'm still here, just in case you're wondering. I'm still here. This
is why the YouTube show always runs like an hour and a half or 2 hours long. Appreciate you coming on the show. You guys are getting set for your season, and fingers crossed Mother Nature's going to take care of you guys.
Well, Mother Nature better take care of us. She hasn't taken care of us three of the last 4 years. We got last year's season opener on time in, but I'm hoping Mother Nature is going to cooperate. We got a little shower here yesterday, but everything's dry. The dust is flying, and I'm hoping it's gonna happen again.
You guys kick off season opening night, and it's a regular season points night for the IMCA classes. Who you got in the house?
Yes, we have the IMCA regular classes will be on hand with us on Saturday night. The IMCA Sport Compacts, the KNOD Cool Gold 105.3 IMCA Hobby Stocks will be on hand with us. Our Sport Mods, Keist Auto Group Sport Mods will be on hand with us. Our new sponsor on hand with us, the Buck Snort. I don't know if you guys ever had that. That is some good eatings right there. They come on board. They've only been in town a few months. They came on board as a sponsor and picked up the Modifieds, IMCA Modifieds. So big thanks to them. And, of course, the Wings of America Bragging Rights Late Models will be on hand with us this Saturday night.
Awesome deal. And then you guys have a couple of weekly points nights, and then you add the Super Late Models in the Malvern Bank class on May 18th.
We do. I get the chance to work with Anthony Ainsley. We'll have the SLMR series will coming in on May 18th, and they're also going to come in on July 13th. We picked up a second date. That is also our fair race. So we're pretty happy about that. It's also going to be Casey's night. And we're going to have the Western Iowa Vintage Association also on hand with us. So we're looking forward to it. Of course, we got the Pizza Ranch IMCA Stock Cars with 8-time national champion Mike Nichols. We're going to be racing here weekly. So stock car guys from Nebraska, come on out and give him a whirl and see if he can beat him to victory lane.
Hey, that July late model show, is that a midweek show there for the fair, or is that a regular Saturday deal?
I believe that's a regular Saturday deal.
Okay.
You guys also have the Carpet Lane Nebraska 360s coming June 29th. Something that the 360s haven't been to Shelby County for a while. Stan Caesar was talking. He's really excited to get back to his old stomping grounds and watch some sprint cars turn laps.
Oh, absolutely. Stan Caesar, I've had the honor to, in my opinion, the greatest announcer of all times, Stan Caesar. I've got to work with him a couple times when he was here at Shelby County Speedway. They're going to be the first time they're going to be back here since 1984. Also that night, we have what they call the Midwest Madness Tour.
Yeah.
It's going to make their season, their opening night right here at the Shelby County Speedway. $1,000 to win for the modifieds, $1,000 to win for the stock cars, and we went ahead and threw in the sport mods. That's the sport class for your Carpetland Nebraska 360 sprint car.
A good night there, and I'm going to be excited. Hopefully I can get over there for that race. My Saturday nights are a little bit busy, but my goal is to try to make it over to a couple more tracks this year. On top of having the 360s on June 29th, and then like you talked about, July 13th, you guys have the Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series coming back. And then it's a lot of weekly shows, which is great because the weekly stuff is what keeps the lights on at those places.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were talking about this last time, and this is absolutely no offense to anybody, but specials are really killing weekly racing, in my opinion. I think it's time the weekly shows start dominating again, and let's get these dirt tracks back up to where they need to be and where they used to be. We got some great sponsors that have come on board with us this year, and we're going to throw some extra money just randomly, so keep your eyes open on the Shelby County Speedway Harlan, Iowa Facebook page and racescs.com. So, I mean, you just keep your eyes open, and maybe there'll be some extra money.
Talking about some of the guys that are racing out there weekly and coming back, David Conan, 7 wins on the year out of, 13 features? That kid was on fire.
17 wins out of 13 features. The year before that, he struggled. He picked up, I believe, 1 feature win or 2 feature wins the season before, and to come out and pick up 7 feature wins was absolutely incredible. There was a few guys that tried to bump him out of the way, but he got to the back of the field on the restart, and he just come to the front. His brother, he picked up the state championship in the sport compacts by running here and over at Stewart.
Wow. Jason Fusselman in your hobby stock class. I've always enjoyed watching Jason since our time back at Crawford County, and of course he's been racing for a long time. I still have one of his T-shirts that is one of my favorite T-shirts to wear, mostly because I think he built a little more into the midsection for some of his fans. But, again, he was another guy. 7 wins on the year, 12 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and 13 features. Heck of a run for him in that class.
Absolutely. That's back-to-back track championships for the double nickel. Fuzzy Fusselman picking up the track championship. Him and Corey and Chuck Madden put a show on every single week here at the Shelby County Speedway. It was always coming down to within the last 2 laps. That's why they call them the wild thing, the IMCA hobby stocks, because they are wild.
Kevin Zeitner.
But we do have some
Zeitner. Yeah, we're going to talk to him coming up in turn 2, just around the corner here, about his track championship. Good year for him. 2 wins on the year. I think he benefited from Cody Olson missing a feature, though.
Yeah, he did. And it still came down to the last night. And it still came down to the last 5 laps. He was still battling out with Thomas Van Dyke. Van Dyke, unfortunately, having motor issues with the car, had to pull it in, and that gave Kevin Zeitner a much-deserving track championship. So we hope he comes back weekly and defends that track championship, because we're really looking forward to seeing him Saturday night come right back around the racetrack here at Shelby County Speedway.
This is a shocker, and fans, I'm going to tell you to sit down. Flying Brian Blessington able to pick up the track championship over the legend himself, Mike Nichols, and it wasn't because Nichols didn't show up for a feature. Brian won it straight up.
Yes, he did. He won it head-to-head that night. Actually, you want to hear a story. You know, the feature was over, and I did my calculations, and it had Brian Blessington winning the track championship, so that's what I announced. And I announced it with some enthusiasm, and the crowd just went nuts. You know, in all racing, people don't like watching the same driver win. Why do you think people hated Jeff?
Right.
So they love seeing Blessington after years and years of racing at Shelby County Speedway. He finally gets the track championship, and he did it head-to-head.
There's a little bit of a theme going on at Shelby County in 2018. Your champion for the modifieds was the real deal, Nick Deal. 7 wins on the year. You had 3 different classes where the champion had 7 wins.
Oh, yeah. It was insane. You know, our modified numbers were down a little bit along with our hobby stock numbers. We hope that number continues to grow this year. But Nick Deal just had that GRT hooked up all year long. He had 1 or 2 bad nights, and a bad night for him is fourth.
Yeah.
So the Rose City Canopy just really had that car hooked up, and they did a fabulous job all year long.
Doesn't look like he'll be back, though, trying to defend that title. He looked real good down at I-80 Speedway already this year in his late model.
Nick Deal you give him a motor and a wheel, and he can drive it.
Yep.
He drove Nick Woodward's stock car here one night, and that thing looked like a late model. Nick said he's never seen the left front off the ground that high in his life in a stock car. And you know what the funny thing is? Nick Deal was chasing down the man himself, Mr. Mike Nichols. He was gaining on Mike Nichols. He just ran out of lap. He was catching him.
He's a fun one to watch, and I think he's going to have a very bright future. Moving into your super late model, Sterling Perkins able to pick up the win. Consistency was the deal there. Able to pick up the track championship. Didn't get a win on the year, but plenty of top fives and some top tens. Was able to lock up the points championship.
Oh, absolutely. He was just consistent. It goes to show you don't have to win every race or any race to win a track championship. So he is the definition of consistency. I mean, it's outstanding what he did in that 3 machine, the Wild Child. Now I see he's in a modified this year. So he gave up the model. Now he's in a modified.
Well, moving into your final class, the Braggin Rights Late Models. Jeff Tilley, the track championship over Jacob Brown, which is something that's odd to me because Jacob Brown it pretty much has the track championship at I-80 locked up every year about halfway through the season.
Yes. It was them late models put on a great show here every week. We love having them. I believe it's just down to I-80 and us running them, consistently. So it's great. The fans actually, a lot of fans don't like late model racing, but for some reason here, the fans love it. And they put on a great show week in and week out. I love it. I love late model racing. I love sprint car racing. I love it all.
Yeah, it's tough not to when you get to sit in the booth and watch this stuff for a living, huh?
It is, and I have a little confession to make. I will only be announcing 2 or 3 races this year at the Shelby County Speedway. I've moved on to a different position here at the track on the other side of the booth in the scoring. The announcer we're going to have most of the time, and a lot of people in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa are going to know this name, Don Hawkins. He's a legendary promoter from the Audubon Speedway back in the 90s. He promoted it for about 20 years. He was one of them that created the Mac Tools Winter Series stock car touring series. He's going to come on board and do some announcing for us so I can move over and help with the scoring side of things. So,
well, good deal.
I'm kind of excited about the opportunity to move on to something else, and Don's really excited to come on board. He's been a race fan for numerous years, and we're glad to have him. And we got some great nights coming up, so we're looking forward to it.
Speaking of that, you guys kick it off again this Saturday. You can get more information, racescs.com. Find them on Facebook. And then good news, we didn't get to cover it, but I want to make sure and talk a little bit about it. The Tiny Lund back for 2 nights, September 13th and 14th. One of the favorite specials over in the area, and a staple at Shelby County Speedway. Absolutely. This is the home of Tiny Lund, and a lot of people don't know, it's also the home of Johnny Bucamp. So these guys used to run here every week, and I'm going to guess, I could be wrong, that's happened before, 53rd Annual Tiny Lund Memorial. Really, really looking forward to it. We'll release the purse and all that stuff later on in the season, but it's going to be a complete 2-day show, so you don't have to be here Friday to qualify for Saturday. So we're really looking forward to that. We also have a couple other special nights, if you guys would allow me to do so. Absolutely. The May 11th, we have a Mother's Day special. June 8th is a big one for us, local racers over here in Harlan and the Denison area, the James Bawalda Memorial. I think, Dan, you got to meet James a couple times, the owners of the Pizza Ranch here in Harlan. Yeah. Unfortunately, losing his battle to MDA. So we're going to have a special for him on June 8th. It's all IMCA classes with the Bragging Rights Late Models will be in hand with us. It's also Fan Appreciation Night. So stay tuned. We will also let Dan and let you guys know what we're going to do that night for admission-wise. We're also going to do a Pass the Boot. The local fire department, Harlan Volunteer Fire Department, will be out here with the boot collecting money for MDA as well. We have a June 15th, ASR Towing is going to sponsor a night, $300 to win IMCA Sport Compacts, all classes with the Super Late Models as well. Wow, that's a big payday for the Sport Compacts. It is. And June 29th, of course, is the IMCA Modified Stock Car Sport Mods with the Nebraska Carperland 360 sprint cars. Jack Dover was out here and took a look at the track, and he was guessing 150 to 155 mile an hour around this great racetrack. July 13th, we mentioned, is going to be our fair night, Casey's, all IMCA classes. It's our SLMR second race with the Western Iowa Vintage. The 20th, we are not racing for the Silver Dollar Nationals. And then, of course, the Tiny Lund Memorial will be the 13th and 14th of September. We may have races on the 17th and 24th of August. That is to be determined. But that is of right now,
that is our schedule. And I said, again, we will release the purse and all information for the Tiny Lund probably a little later on in the season.
Find them online, racescs.com. Find them on social media on Facebook, Shelby County Speedway, Harlan, Iowa. Bob, always do love having you on the show. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it. You bet.
Bob joining us courtesy of Red Oak Fabrication. That interview. Get powder coating done at an affordable price. Get your bare chassis powder coated for just $275. Reworking and sandblasting can cost you just a little bit more because of the labor and time. But give Jordan a call today, 712-623-4911, or email him, jordanf@redookfabrication.com, for your free estimate. We're going to take a break. Kevin and Dale Zeitner are going to join us in turn number 2. Then we've got a trifecta of Jorgensens swinging by in turn number 3. Robbie, AJ, and there's a third brother. I didn't know this. We're going to talk all about Jacob coming up in turn number 3.
He put 2 more wheels under him, so he's going to come play with the big brother.
And then we'll be back in turn 4. Guys, you can guess it. It's going to be a quick one because we got 3 interviews today. So we'll be back in turn 4 to wrap it all up. Coming around the corner, though, Kevin and Dale Zeitner, turn number 2. We'll be back on the front stretch.
Every race car driver has run into the same problem. It's well past normal parts store closing hours, but you need that one to finish your car. The guys who brought you White Knuckle Racing by the River bring you Joe's Karting Racing Parts and Tire Store. Open until 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday and open until 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. A parts store that fits your after-hours schedule, and you can turn a few laps at Joe's Karting while you're waiting for your part to get pulled from their warehouse. joeskarting.com for more information.
Racers all over the country are discovering the benefits of powder coating their chassis. Powder coating offers a clean, even finish you will be proud to show off to fans and sponsors. Plus, it's a more durable surface. While looking beautiful, powder coating offers superior protection against corrosive chemicals typically spilled during routine maintenance. Bare frames start at $275 with estimates available if blasting or reworking is needed. Get your quote today by emailing Jordan F. at redoakfabrication.com or by calling 712-623-4911.
First Detail Supply at 102nd and J offers you the same professional-grade products that are used in detail shops across the United States. With the high-quality detail products and the guidance you'll receive from First Detail Supply, your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat will shine with a lasting finish. Find out more about First Detail Supply by stopping in at 102nd and J Street or check out firstdetailsupply.com. Don't forget to mention Front Stretch and receive 10% off your purchase.
We're hooked up in turn 2 and still showing the green flag on the front stretch.
Welcome back to the front stretch. Heading into turn number 2, and it's time to have another Red Oak Fabrication interview. Red Oak Fabrication brings us all of our interviews of 2019. If you need your chassis powder coated or reworked, just give them a call. They've got a nice big plant down in Red Oak, Iowa that they've been doing powder coating for the last couple of years. So you can get it done just down the road. Highway 34 and 40 and Highway 48 right on the corner in Red Oak, Iowa. Just give Jordan a call today or send him an email, jordanf at redoakfabrication.com, jordanf at redoakfabrication.com. Talking with a modified driver in the area. Race is the number 60, and I believe you were a Beaver track champion in 2018. Kevin Zeitner, how you doing, bud?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Doing pretty well. What a great day.
What is a Beaver track?
Shelby
champion?
County Speedway.
No, Shelby County.
Shelby County Speedway.
I was
Okay.
just saying, not the Beaver.
But been running the 60 modified for a couple of years now, and got down to Shelby and were able to pick up a track championship in 2018.
Yep, got a couple wins out there. We kind of had a rocky start. The first night out was a little shaky, and then rebounded the next week, got a win, and was just kind of on a roll ever since. Had a little battle with Thomas Van Dyke. He was consistent he had some tough luck towards the end and made it interesting. We went in the final night, tied in points. It was pretty stressful, but got it done.
Who's that you got with you today?
That is my father, Dale Zeitner.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
It's great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yep, thank you.
But talking about your year and running that championship, I think that probably going into the track championship, you've obviously got the way you want to have it, which is you got it locked up when you go in there. But when you're tied for points, it makes it really, really easy what you have to do. Even though doing it is difficult, all you have to do is finish in front of the guy.
Right. And
you don't have to sit there and, like we were talking with RJ Moss, he had a couple of points lead, and then it was second and third were battling for positions, and he was trying to do car math each lap, trying to figure out if he still had the track championship won. All you had to do was just make sure he was behind you.
Yeah, well, there was one little twist to that. Something I didn't count the car count going into the night. Cody Olson He did miss one night to go chasing bigger money, which, it's Cody Olsen. He should be doing that.
Right.
But he was still third in points. He had 7 wins out there. He was killing us. He was killing us. So he had 7 wins out there. He's still third in points. I believe he was 16 points back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, if something stupid happens to me and Thomas and we don't finish the race, Cody's got it. So 3 laps in, mind you, I started 5th. Tom started 6th, side by side. I saw him up high coming out of 2. I didn't see him after that until caution come out. And I think that's when his motor started giving way. He's sitting top of 4, and bad deal for him. I was hoping to race him to the finish.
Yeah.
But I knew back in my head, I didn't know what the car count was, but I knew if I didn't finish, Cody's got a shot at it. So I just kept on going until the checker's not over, until it's over.
And you had to be easy on it.
Just
because if you pushed it a little bit too hard, you'd have ran out of fuel, you'd have cut a tire, you'd have blown an engine.
That fine line, dancing that fine line.
Right.
He'd have been Thomas, sitting up there in 3 and 4.
And Cody would have been celebrating all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Well, maybe to the
Well,
bank.
he's going to be celebrating to the bank tonight since you gave him the Beaver Track Championship.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So, we talked a little bit about it. The Zeitner family history in racing is long in the tooth. I mean, it's been, you guys have been one of the instrumental families in racing in the Midwest. So many wins to your family's credit. Was there any other direction other than being a driver for you?
No, I mean, there's other things in racing I've considered. I've put a lot of thought into, a future into racing if I want to, keep driving. There's other things I can do to give back to the sport or, contribute to the sport to help it grow.
Do you like the technical side of it? So you could be a crew chief or
There is that. I think if I'm going to be in the pits working on a car, I think I'd rather be driving it.
Yeah.
I think there's some other things I was thinking of.
You're not thinking about a promoter, are you?
There's some things out there you can do.
We need
more. It's down the road.
promoters.
I got that driving itch to be in the car. It's like
Well, I don't mean to say bad about it. We need more promoters, but when I watch what Lisa and Joe go through and what Racine and Roger go through as promoters, man, it's a tough job.
It's tough. It's stressful. You got a lot of guys who they just, racers are passionate, and we get after the promoters, and sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not, and they catch it no matter what.
Right.
And you guys get after tech guys, too, believe me.
Yeah. Illegal. I don't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't illegal last week.
It was legal in the shop.
Yep. What'd you start out racing in? Did you start out in karts or?
I started out in 2008 in a Hornet back then. It was at I-80.
Wow.
It was a what was it? A Dodge Shadow.
Dodge Shadow.
Dodge Shadow. We had that. We took it out. I think on the 5th night, it blew the transmission in it, and that was the end of that. We picked up a Cavalier. Come across a good deal up in Sioux City.
Yeah.
Picked up that Cavalier and ran that for 4 years and toasted that off the turn 4 wall over at Eagle. And just a bam deal. Everything happened so fast at Eagle, and I told him, you know what, we're either moving up or I'm done. I can't just the compacts. If you want to have some fun, you want to save some money, have some fun. That's definitely the route to go. Ton of fun.
Yeah.
But if you're competitive and it's you want more and more, it's tough to stay in that class.
Yeah.
And so moved up from there.
Into a
hobby stock in 2013.
Okay.
And we were in there. We're in the hobby stock up till a couple years ago, up through 15. No, up through 16. And 17, we hopped into the sport mod.
Okay. So you ran a sport mod for a year, and then you jumped into the. Now you're still in a sport mod. Excuse me. It's got a wing on it. My apologies. I could never tell the difference other than the wing.
He runs the mod at Beaver.
Yeah.
That's right.
So ran the sport mods for the last couple of years. That's kind of a fun class, but that's starting to be a class it's just as expensive as a modified. So you might as well.
It is. It's getting there, but it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously your rims and tires are the same. Some of the suspension's the same. Chassis, body wise,
No quick change.
No quick change.
Are you a fan of the quick change?
It would be a lot easier to change some gears than it is with these large pumpkins, especially if you don't have a lift. But I haven't done all the math on the money aspect to see if what the difference is price-wise on saving money or not saving money. And then, I mean, obviously your 602 is a little cheaper. Transmission-wise, you're saving a little bit of money. But, yeah, they're getting close, but they're not quite there.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine that's ran sport mods for years, and he was talking about he's real frustrated because the guys who are constantly winning the sport mods are probably running $35,000 to $40,000 operations.
Yeah.
And he said that's a mid-pack modified. So what's the point in me spending that amount of money to get whooped by those guys? Because they're really good. When I can step up into a modified and keep learning and increase my budget over the years. So he's moving his way up into the modifieds now. But that's nothing wrong with the sport mods. I love watching the sport mods run. It's an incredibly difficult class, and you got a lot of competition out there.
There is. There's a lot of guys that are moving up and getting better in their own right, and there's even a lot of guys in the modified class that have moved down, just because that like you were saying, a mid-rate range. Modified budget, it's you can run more competitive with that sport mod, but there's some guys that just wanting to save some money anyway,
right,
and move down. It's just as competitive, just as fun. It's a modified.
Shelby County Speedway, kind of a big, fast track. Is that kind of your style?
I don't know. I've had a lot of good luck there. It is big and fast. Keep momentum up. You're not off the throttle a lot. This last year there was a lot of dry slick, which was really fun. That second night out, it was hammer down on the high side, just mat it to the floor and wish it the best of luck. The win we got, what was it, July 7th, just bone dry. And then the Tiny Lund, the second night of the Tiny Lund was an absolute blast. Was running up top 4 up with Doug Smith, Cody Olson, Jake Sacco. Them guys win no matter where they go.
Yeah.
Running up with them guys, and it was a blast. Just playing with the throttle, just trying to get off the corners. And
well, that's when you see you guys get out in the tech area. You know, there might be 4 or 5 of you, and like Dan says, he always thinks there's going to be a fight, and you guys are out there giggling and laughing and smiling ear to ear because the racing is so good, and you have such a good time when you're racing against those guys. I think I can get him, and then you don't do it. Yeah. And, he's like, I can hold him off, and he does. And the next week it's you. I can hold him off. Yep. And he's going, I'll get him. And I just think it's great when a guy gets out and he pulls his helmet off and he is smiling ear to ear.
Well, that's what we do it for.
You do that a lot? You're smiling a lot,
well,
right?
That's what we get in the car for, to have some fun. But, yeah, early in my career, racing career, there was a lot of attitude adjustments that needed to be made, and there was a lot of, throw the helmet, throw the steering wheel. This guy can testify to that. And
yep.
No other words needed.
Get out of the car. I got a 12th place finish and throw something and walk off. And
I think your last year in a hobby stock, didn't you have a real short season?
We ran just about the full season. It was cut short. I should have won it. Was leading the race out at Harlan. It was another hammer down track, but the late models in their heat race had single file up on the high side, and they left about a 12-inch dry patch, and we had a restart, and I hit that with my right rear, and around I went right in front of everybody, and one guy couldn't miss me, and that was the end of that car.
Oh.
Well, I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking that happened at Eagle. I thought you tore a car up one of the hobbies real bad at Eagle once, a couple of years ago.
13, I did tear one up. It was that hobby stock. We tore it up. We had to put a new rear clip on it. That same year, about halfway through the year, we jumped over to Harlan and been over there since.
So you've been around the sport mod for a couple of years. We talked about that. And your dad helps you out in the pits quite a bit?
Yeah, a few nights of help throughout the week here or there if I need something.
Help out during the week, help out the racetrack, and my wallet takes a hit.
Right.
I got to thank him for a lot of stuff that happened this last year. I mean, running his throwback scheme, that was, just kind of a thanks for all the support I've gotten to him throughout the year. And I've always loved that paint scheme. I've always wanted to run it, but never really had a chance for it.
I like simple. We're sitting here at a car show. We're looking at a car over there that's the number 40 machine, and it's pretty looking at it from this angle, but up in the grandstands, it all kind of blurs together. I love simple designs like you guys have.
Yeah, I've known Stan for a while and just talking to him about designs and, his kind of taste. If you can't read it, why is it there?
Right.
Right. I've throughout, I think the craziest design I had was 2012 in that compact. It was a silver and light blue, a petty blue looking car, but you still read everything on it.
Well,
Dale,
if the throwback was kind of dedicated to your dad, it's a good thing you didn't embarrass him with it.
Yeah, that was that first night. I think I spun out. If I was thinking, I'd have sat there and brought out a caution, but got back going. Wound up 18th, a lap down, and it's like, man, running my dad's throwback scheme, and I'm finishing 18th, a lap down. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So
and this was the first year you ran that?
This was the second year.
Okay.
Last year we did a lot of learning. This year we knew more what we were doing. We went through the car with a fine-tooth comb last winter, and we found so many issues with the car and fixed a lot of things. And it wasn't even the same car from 17.
Dale, did you run the 60 when you were younger?
I started out with the number 60, and that's what we run it up till I got out of it.
When did you get out of it?
When did
2004.
He knows more. He knows.
I was going to say 3.
About halfway through 2004.
Yeah, blew the motor, and I said, okay, that's it. I'm done.
That was your retirement ceremony.
Yep.
Yeah, he went out in flames, basically.
Well, plans for 2019, what are you thinking?
Back to back.
Whoa!
Dad's ambitious. We, last year it was a lot of work. It was a lot of stressful evenings, a lot of hard work evenings. But, if I'm in position towards the end of the season, the last few weeks, maybe we'll make a push for it. But I kind of just want to go out and have some fun this year and see what happens. Maybe hit up I-80 a few more times. I know Grandpa would like to see the car out there. He gives me a little slack. You've been racing twice a week. You got a car, race twice a week. We ain't got a car, you race once a week. But So.
Are you in the GRT camp, or what do you drive?
No, Razor chassis.
Razor.
So I could hop in the GRT and lean off Justin, but kind of he helped me a ton last year. Justin gave me a lot of help. Some others, but kind of want to, in a sense, get my own path going. But carry the family tradition on with me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so your plans are kind of up in the air right now for 19, but it kind of sounds like you'd like to jump around and try some different tracks.
Yeah, for sure, probably going to hit all the big shows at I-80.
Okay.
And then some weekly at Harlan, maybe some Denison. We'll just kind of see what happens.
Have you ran Denison before?
I was there once last year. I was there a couple times in the hobby stock. Once last year, or a couple years ago in the sport mod. It's fun.
It's a fun track. A lot of guys I talked to said they absolutely love racing that track because it's a whole new animal than what it was when your dad probably ran. Did you ever run Denison?
Yeah, I run Denison for 2 years, and that's before they changed the track the way it is now.
Yeah.
But
That was a big track.
Yep, it was a lot of fun back then running it.
Yeah, it's a great track to run.
Dale, when did you start? I remember when the family moved down, and I think I probably met Mel in, I'm going to say 81, somewhere around there at Sunset. He kind of started first, and then
Leon was second to start.
Leon showed up, and he did like 1 or 2 years in the late model, and then he went modified racing for a long time. And then I think Al showed up, and were you the fourth one to get in, or were you in before Al?
I started in '91. I pit for Al, Mel, all those years, either one of those two, off and on, and then I finally got the opportunity to drive, and I did it, and had a lot of fun doing it.
It's hard not to.
Yes, yeah.
As long as the luck goes fine and not bad.
Yep.
Keyword luck.
I've tried to explain to Dan, about like Stan was saying about some of the old nights at Sunset with the field that would be out there. There'd be 50 cars, and probably 15 of them were legitimate threats to win the race. You had some field fillers. You do in every sport, But you'd have 50 late models, and on any given night, 80-plus Pro-Ams.
Yep, they had a lot of cars. The Kellys did a great job getting the show done, and a lot of racing in a little amount of time.
Yeah, you guys usually got a checkered flag at 10 or shortly thereafter on Sunday night.
Yep.
And a packed grandstand.
What do you think about this kid wanting to be a promoter or something?
Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a car.
Just some ideas floating around.
Yeah, if he's a promoter,
nothing.
hopefully it won't cost you as much.
Well, yeah, that's true.
We've been talking with Kevin Zeitner. We've been talking with Kevin Zeitner. In case you didn't know, track champion at Shelby County Speedway, future track champion at probably I-80 Speedway and maybe Crawford County.
Maybe.
And since you never got to race at Sunset, I actually went to the Beaver last year for the first time. I'd never been there. They run a Wednesday night show, but it's about 2.5 hour drive. But that is the closest track I have seen to Sunset Speedway, and I've been to most of them. I haven't been to every dirt track in 2 states, but I've been to most of them. So you ever want to see what it was like to drive at Sunset, tow up there some night.
I've heard a few people say that.
It's a paperclip.
What kind of construction do you do?
I'm an electrician.
Okay, so you don't have to swing a hammer, but you got a pretty good chance of getting shot.
Sometimes there's some hammer swinging in
Okay,
there. But
yeah. Well, thanks some of the sponsors to help you get up and down the road.
Zeitner
Dad.
Sons for sure. They've kind of been with me the whole way. Everybody there, Grandpa and Grandma, and especially, and my dad. Like I said, can't thank him enough for everything he's done, especially this last year. You know, it was just a group effort. Contractors Electrical Inc., they've helped me for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. They jumped on board in 2014. Ron Sarderson with Sarderson Racing. He's given me a lot of advice and a lot of tips throughout the year. I've learned a lot from him. And I mean, we not really covered with sponsors, kind of out there looking.
Fine. Kevin Zeitner joining us on the show. Really do appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming onto the show. Apologize for the flub earlier about the track championship. Great job at Shelby County, and good luck defending it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, you'll make sure to follow him on Facebook. Do you have a racing page or just your personal page?
Kevin Zeitner Motorsports on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot for coming on. We're going to take a break. We'll be back on the front stretch.
We all have that coworker that runs their mouth off at how great they are. They shot a 5 under par, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, bench press 375, brah. Wouldn't you love to shut them up by schooling them at Joe's Karting? Council Bluffs' premier indoor karting track, professionally designed so each corner is your opportunity to embarrass your coworker. Call Buddy for your next company outing at 712-256-5278. Joe's Karting, white knuckle racing just across the river on 23rd Avenue next to AMC 17.
Your daughter's signing the finish line. She's in. Your grandpa air guitaring the pre-race concert. He's in. Soldiers saluting the flyover. They're all in. Fans holding their breath before a wreck. In. Drivers trash-talking on your headset after the wreck. Definitely in. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race at Kansas Speedway. Saturday, May 11th, under the lights. Tickets at kansasspeedway.com. You in?
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things. Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Quaker Steak and Lube is the official watering hole of the front stretch and the home of MAV TV, featuring action from the Lucas Oil Late Model series.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Located on Mid-America Drive in Council Bluffs.
Feather the brake and get back to the gas. Dan and Dirk are headed into turn 3 on the front stretch.
Welcome back to the front stretch. Time to have another Red Oak Fabrication powder coating interview. Powder coating available at an affordable price just down the road in Red Oak, Iowa, on the intersection of Highway 34 and Highway 48 in said Red Oak, Iowa. Make sure you head down there today to get all of your parts, pieces, and bare chassis powder coated. The bare chassis, just $275. Reworking and sandblasting, any of that needs to be done. Might be just a little bit more. Give Jordan a call today, 712-623-4911, or you can email him, jordanf@RedOakFabrication.com, for a free estimate. Powder coating is a great way to make your chassis look beautiful, last a long time, and one big aspect is it is corrosive resistant. So you happen to spill some brake fluid or maybe a little bit of fuel on it, it's not going to rub that paint away, and you're not going to have a rust spot in 3 or 4 weeks. It's going to stay, and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous, which is what we need to have when we get down to the season-ending specials. So get Red Oak Fabrication a call today, 712-623-4911, or just email jordanf@redoakfabrication.com. Joining us on the show now, we have a trifecta of Jorgensens. When I met you, Robbie, there was one. And then all of a sudden I met AJ running around in the pits. And then you were messaging me the other day, and I'm sorry, Jake, I had no idea you were even around.
Yeah, no, that's the case a lot. People don't know.
So Robbie Jorgensen, AJ Jorgensen, and Jake Jorgensen, and I was telling you off the air, boy, I feel for your dad because it's stressful enough to watch one son race around a racetrack. I can only imagine what it is to watch 3 of them turning laps in a speedway and how stressful it can get.
Well, the financial part's off him because it's on me and AJ now. We are, we're out in the real world. High school's over, playtime is over. So now it's time to flip the bill for ourselves. Whatever I mess up, I got to fix, and same for him.
Well, it kind of sounds like something you had pushed for, that maybe your dad would be willing to help you out in areas, but it kind of sounds like you wanted to start your own thing.
We're still very much. It's not like I have a separate shop and we're all in separate parts, but I don't really want to pay for anything. If anybody out there would like to pay for my, I'll do a lot more. I'll throw a lot more sliders. I'll do a lot more aggressive stuff if someone else wants to flip the bill.
Yeah.
But, whatever. It's grown up. I got to cover my own stuff. I have no excuse not to.
Kind of becoming the team financial advisor and owner, then it does make you wonder if you can shoot that gap and push that limit a little bit more.
Yeah, you do it when it's worth it. I'll do it when I'm running for third. Fifth on up, I can understand racing for. But if I'm off from night, hot laps on out, and I'm starting, 13th, and I get up to 10th, it all pays the same from 7th on back. Sometimes you're better off just riding around and just gathering an analysis of what you have done right, what you have done wrong, and then come back the next week with something better underneath you.
AJ, you kind of agree with that a little bit?
Oh, yeah, completely. There's no reason to go out there and run around the back and try to win it on the first lap or anything like that. Use that time when you're running around the back to learn and try to do something different for next time.
Well, it's one thing with you guys being third-generation drivers and watching Dad and Grandpa and stuff races. They were always good at taking care of their equipment. They didn't, I've never seen a Jorgensen really take an unnecessary chance.
Right.
Yeah, that's true for the most part. I'm a little bit worried about Jake, though. I've seen he's a dirt bike guy, so he's not afraid to hurt himself, do whatever. He might do what it takes.
So he don't mind being airborne?
Maybe, yeah. He's used to it. He can do it.
You're okay with? Are you more the dangerous one, Jake?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'd take more chances than they would.
Yeah.
Oh. Just remember, stock cars go faster with 4 tires on.
Yeah. The goal is to keep them on the ground, not off the ground.
Yeah. Yep. Running the 41 again, AJ or Robbie?
Yeah, the 41's back to stay.
Okay.
That, however, Jake will be taking over the 22 car.
Okay.
So now the Jorgensen trifecta is 22, 41, and 47.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what it's going to look like this year.
You kind of bounced around a little bit last year. You were running mostly a Braggin Rights Late Model, but then sometimes you ran into the super late models. Is that kind of the plan this year, or are you going to try to go up a little bit more into the supers?
I've got a crate engine in now. I've got a fresh crate motor I just got last season, and I'm just mainly focused on the Grand National aspect of it. I'll run with the supers to get laps, and I'll run with supers to get laps. Last year I just ran it with them to get laps. Granted, I had an IMCA motor, a super late model motor around these parts, many would consider. I had that in, but I never, I'm realistic. I'm well aware that my talent and my money, I can't compete. I can make the show at a Malvern Bank race, but I can't win there.
Right.
I like to race where I can win.
Is there things you can learn while racing a super late model that you can apply to the Braggin Rights Late Model?
Well, to me, it's what you when you go from a super late model or from an A mod to a B mod, it's like slow motion.
Yeah.
You're just waiting on it's like nothing. It's still hard, don't get me wrong.
When am I going to get to the corner?
Yeah.
Why'd they move it?
Pretty much. You basically, at that point, you can just kind of calm down. You can't throw it sideways. You got to keep it underneath you a lot more.
Yeah.
The more you let the car hang out, you're scrubbing off speed.
Right.
It's more of a momentum thing with a crate motor. Any small, like a hobby stock, anything like that, it's more of a momentum game.
AJ, did you run the Super much last year, or would you stick mostly with the Braggin Rights?
Just Braggin Rights.
Yeah.
I think last year we took 2 crate cars to Harlan for a SLMR special, but that was just to get laps and get better.
Yeah.
But
getting a little bit more experience.
Yep.
Nothing beats seat time.
Both of you guys, Robbie, what's your plan for this year?
It's pretty much I-80 every week and Shelby County every week. There's Grand Nationals, but I'll go up there for a super late model race if I got time and nothing else going on. I'll go up there just to get some laps and try some stuff, and that goes for a lot of tracks in the area. I'd maybe go up and try somewhere just for fun to get laps, but I'm mainly focused on I-80 and Harlan.
Jake, what are you going to be participating in?
Wherever they're at, I'm going to be at. Whatever they do, I'm doing.
AJ, same thing for you. You're going to be kind of you guys are following around each other. Going to be going around with each other as kind of a group effort.
Yep.
Odds are, if one of us is there, all three of us are there.
So you got like a 3-car stacker trailer deal that you're going to be hauling around in?
No, we're old school. We got a ramp truck and 2 open trailers, ramp over trailers, and a couple pickups. But that's how we roll. I'm not a fan of enclosed trailers. You can't show it off.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of drawing on them because there's always the argument that enclosed trailers don't make you get to the finish line faster. But I can always make an argument that if you're comfortable in a blustery hot day or you've got somewhere to go and cool off, that does help you with a little bit with being able to stay a little more calm and comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and you said
but,
you can't.
But I don't have to pay for them, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. You said you can't show a car off an enclosed trailer. I saw an enclosed trailer in Florida about 15 years ago that had Lexan across the top where the cars were sitting. It was pretty cool.
No. Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that before. That's cool, but very rare.
Yeah. It's the only time I ever saw one.
Jake, we haven't got to talk to you about you much. Your brother's kind of hinted at it a little bit. You were a motocross guy.
Well, I wouldn't say motocross. I rode like trails and stuff, but nothing, no racing or anything. Yeah. Just kind of fun riding.
Okay. Where'd you go ride at?
My friend had a place in Rockport, Missouri, up in the hills there, around the neighborhoods, getting in trouble with the cops, anywhere.
What, did you get caught though?
No.
Okay, so you never got in trouble.
I don't know. It depends.
Did he ever spend any nights in jail?
No.
Not
that we're aware of.
He's a juvenile. They release him to their parents.
Yeah.
So Dad never got a call at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's going to come down to Rockport, Missouri, and pick you up.
No. That was at a private place, but around the neighborhoods and that was mainly where I'd go.
Yeah.
Dad he encouraged it a little bit too. Just go out there and race hell a little bit. Why not?
You know what? You only live once.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I pushed the envelope when I was a kid a little bit, and I'm kind of glad I did it now. And I sure as heck wouldn't do it at 36 anymore. Some of the things I lived through was just a miracle.
Jake, I may be mistaken, but what you do in dirt bike community is referred to as goon riding. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know. Messing around, having fun.
Yeah.
And being bored in the summer, just go and ride around.
And then, did you race anything else besides the just kind of leisure time with the motorcycles? Did you ever race hobby stocks or a modified?
No, I did the go-karts, the cage carts for maybe a year.
Yeah.
And then we sold that, and then he started in the Hornet, and I kind of sat sideline.
Go ahead and get that mic right up to your mouth.
Besides the cage cart, nothing else, no.
Okay. And jumping right into a Grand National. I'm sorry, Joe's yelling at me again. A Braggin Rights Late Model.
Yeah. Going right into it.
I'm always interested in that because it'll be interesting to see what you can do because I think there is some weight to be given to making it through the ranks, starting out of maybe a hobby stock and going into a modified and then up into a late model. But then again, when you jump right into a Braggin Rights Late Model, there's no bad habits that are following you through those other series.
Yeah, complete fresh start, not knowing anything, learn from them too, and just kind of keep going, learning.
Did you get any seat time last year? I'm sorry.
Maybe an hour one time just making laps at I-80 on a Saturday, I think. But besides that, no.
So with the 2 older brothers, is your goal going to kind of be to steer him to a Rookie of the Year title maybe?
I sure hope so. It'd be all 3 of us would have one then. But, I don't see why that can't happen. If he just listens, all he's got to do is listen.
It's a tough thing for kids to do.
Speaking like a dad.
If I tell you to put the helmet on backwards and go out there, okay? Just trust me. If it sounds stupid, I know it might sound stupid, but sometimes it works.
Yeah. So Robbie, how old are you now?
I'm 20. I'll be 21 here in basically May, but April 26th.
You can finally drink in April.
Yeah, I'm really not much of a drinker though.
No?
Well, I mean, I'm 20. I mean, legally I can't, but who doesn't? But
you're not going to go hit the bottle on your 21st birthday then?
No, I'll probably I think I'm going to be racing, so it falls on a Saturday or a Friday, I think. So
AJ, what about you? How old are you?
I'm 18. I'll be 19 here in late June.
So you're an adult.
Yeah.
So the 27th?
26th.
26th? Yeah, it's Friday night. We'll see you at I-80.
Yeah, I'll be there. That's where I'll be spending my my 21st birthday.
I'll be spending my birthday
Not a bad
at
place.
Right.
No. Do you think Joe will, give me a discount on beer, Jack, whatever I want? Or do you think
he might charge you extra?
Yeah, he charged me extra.
Just go find Dan. He'll have beer.
Yeah, I do. I'll bring a beer over to your trailer. Hopefully you like Angry Orchard.
Jack and Coke.
Okay. Well, you're a whiskey man.
Yeah, I just don't. Beer doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
And my dad's appalled by that.
Okay.
I mean, but Yeah, I'd rather just, mixed drinks aren't bad.
I think just about any racer would be appalled by a non-beer drinker. So,
but the good news is you win a feature at I-80 and you get a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That's true. That's very true.
So let's go get that marked up. Do you have one? Because you've won a feature at I-80 before.
I've got one win. Should have had a few more, but I stepped on my own toes or whatever. Things don't always play out.
Thank you for making that radio friendly.
Yeah, I realized where I was going with it and stopped it before I could. I lifted, I guess.
We got a beep.
Yeah, we've got a well-used sound effect to bleep out customers.
And actually, it's not a beep; it's a
air
impact gun.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's very very show friendly.
I'm sure my mom was listening to that, like, oh, he's gonna do it. Oh, he didn't do it. Thank God.
But you didn't get a bottle that night for winning that feature?
No, I think that was. I don't know what night that was. That's kind of a special event thing.
Oh, it was a weekly racing night, so they only give them out specials.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've never won a feature.
They knew he wasn't old enough.
That too.
Well, Ryan Jenkins has like 6 bottles in his shop. I think he has 6 empty bottles because I'm pretty sure his dad and grandpa finished them off.
Yep.
Make sure to cover the sponsors, everybody that comes on board to help you guys out.
Oh, yeah. Big thanks to Good News Express, New Era Excavation, Tom's Auto Body. I've got a new sponsor, ABK Enterprises. My good friend Alex Jackson's dad coughed up some cash this year, so they'll be on the hood of my car. These two. You'd rather just have one big sticker on one car.
Are you guys individually going to find sponsorships, or are you working together to maybe do a 3-for deal?
No, it's a lot of the same sponsors carry over to car, but some of them you'll notice. Some AJ will have.
I have Elkhorn West Construction this year.
Okay.
And I still got some more sponsors if anybody wants to sponsor me. But things are still in the works.
There's never an end to that list of sponsors. There can never be we're full. Thanks for your your interest.
Yeah, we don't want your money. Just keep your money in your pocket. We don't want it.
Yeah, that never happens. Jake, what about you? Do you got any sponsors yet?
Good News Express, New Era, and Tom's Auto Body. That's it.
Okay.
Now, good news. That's Grandpa's gig, right?
Oh, yeah. He's a big part. He's it's a team effort, not only from us 3, but my dad, my grandpa, our sponsors.
What is the Good News Express?
Good News Express is my Uncle Jerry's trucking company.
Oh, it's Uncle Jerry. Okay.
Yeah, and then D&D is my grandpa. They're owner-operators. They truck back and forth to Denver, hauling wrecked cars and PVC pipe.
Robbie Jorgensen in the 41 machine, AJ Jorgensen in the 47 machine, and new to the Circle Track community in the 22 machine, Jake Jorgensen. You guys are going to be racing weekly at I-80, and then also you said Shelby County?
Yep, Shelby County, and then maybe we might go into eastern Iowa, hit some tracks over there for fun.
Yeah.
Since IMCA converted the rules to very similar to what we do here in the Braggin Rights division, but we might hit some oddball places here and there, but mainly you will find us at I-80 every weekend that we're there, and Harlan, Shelby County Speedway, every time we're there.
All right.
There's actually a few tracks now in Iowa running regular SLR rules
that
for
too.
Weekly shows. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, good luck this season, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back on the front stretch.
First Detail Supply at 102nd and J offers you the same professional-grade products that are used in detail shops across the United States. With the high-quality detail products and the guidance you'll receive from First Detail Supply, your car, truck, motorcycle, or boat will shine with a lasting finish. Find out more about First Detail Supply by stopping in at 102nd and J Street or check out firstdetailsupply.com. Don't forget to mention Front Stretch and receive 10% off your purchase.
Racers all over the country are discovering the benefits of powder coating their chassis. Powder coating offers a clean, even finish you will be proud to show off to fans and sponsors. Plus, it's a more durable surface. While looking beautiful, powder coating offers superior protection against corrosive chemicals typically spilled during routine maintenance. Bare frames start at $275 with estimates available if blasting or reworking is needed. Get your quote today by emailing Jordan F. at redoakfabrication.com or by calling 712-623-4911.
Hey, look at that. You're sitting on your couch playing Halo, Madden, or NASCAR while your friends are at Joe's Karting. Each lap is an adrenaline-filled, heart-pumping, white-knuckle experience that you can only get at the Metro's largest indoor karting track. Eco-friendly Honda engines rip you around the professionally designed road course at breakneck speeds. Can you reach the 14-second lap bracket? There's only one way to find out. Put the controller down and get to Joe's Karting, 23rd Avenue in Council Bluffs next to Quaker Steak and Lube.
It's checkers or wreckers as we enter turn 4 on the front stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs.
Just about ready to wrap this baby up. Want to say a big thank you to Quaker Steak and Lube, the official watering hole of the front stretch. While you can't go over there today and enjoy the NASCAR action because they're off for Easter, and actually Quaker Steak is closed today.
Quaker Steak is off for Easter.
You can head over there tomorrow and enjoy all the great food they have to offer, and then it's just weeks away from the kickoff of Bike Night and Classic Car Night, both of those happening the first week of May. Bike Night's going to be that Wednesday, May 1st. Classic Car Night's going to be the Wednesday, May 2nd. And then, as always, all-you-can-eat wings on Tuesday nights, kids' nights or Monday nights. Great stuff going on over at Quaker Steak and Lube. Make sure you head over there this summer. I'm probably going to be there most Wednesday nights as I'm out there emceeing for Bike Night, so come by and have a beer. We'll talk some racing and have a good time. But let's talk a little bit while we got a little bit of time in turn number 4. Some news coming out of I-70, Dirk.
Yeah, they were running into some red tape. They've been working on the track, trying to get everything up and running so they can start running, racing back at that nice, what used to be a very nice facility. And the work that I've seen online and stuff looks like they're doing another bang-up job with the place. But they ran into some red tape with I don't know if it was the county or the city or whatever they ran into down there. But news has come out that they were able to get a 20-year permit to run their race program. So I'm pretty sure they'll be back up and working. I don't think they've been doing anything for the last month, but hopefully they'll be at least running by the middle of the summer. I know they had originally planned on being up and running here in May, but that's probably got pushed back a little bit with them getting sidetracked for a little bit.
Good news down there, and it's always good to hear new tracks coming online as opposed to what we've been hearing for decades, which is tracks going offline.
Well, even an old track just coming back is still great.
Yep, good news there. And Ottawa Racing Complex, hearing some good things out of there. They're doing a lot of great stuff. And we've heard about I-29 Dragway. The water's starting to go down, but no confirmation, no conversation about when that track's going to be up and running.
Well, until the water's completely gone, there's no way they can tell how much damage was actually done to the racing surface down there. So it's, unless they're going to keep the water and just race boats, which, drag boats are pretty cool.
What was the other one we were going to talk about real quick?
Lakeside.
Yeah.
They're hoping to, they're looking like they're going to run, at least a half a season anyway, but they had 6 foot of water in their restrooms and stuff. They posted a video where they still had a lot of water in the infield of the track. The pits were about halfway drained out already. So they're working hard and pumping water and doing everything they can to get things up and running again. But they're planning on racing shortly.
Last I saw, they were kind of aiming for a June 1st, somewhere around in there, is the getting up and running, which sadly means that they had to cancel their Malvern Bank Super Late Model race.
Yeah, I did see that they canceled that Malvern Bank race, but they had 2 up scheduled, and you never know if that other one might sneak back on the schedule somewhere.
Coming up this weekend, no specials to talk about because it's going to be NASCAR Weekly Racing at I-80 on Friday, and then IMCA Weekly Racing at Eagle on Saturday. And the great news is most of the classes or most of the tracks in the area getting their weekly stuff up and running.
And as you just heard, Harlan, Shelby County Speedway will be having their opener.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Mother Nature permitting, if she lets us do this stuff.
Well, she's been a bit of a fickle pickle lately, hasn't she?
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah,
keep your distance from that one because she's a little loopy.
She needs some rehab.
Big thank you to everybody who came on the show this week to talk with us. Bob Simon from Shelby County Speedway, Kevin and Dale Zeitner of Kevin Zeitner Motorsports, and AJ, Robbie, and Jake Jorgensen for joining us as getting set for the 2019 seasons. I want to say a big thank you to all of our great sponsors for coming on board and helping us out this year. We're going to be back next weekend. No race to preview today because obviously it's Easter Sunday, so we'll come back next weekend, get you set for Talladega. For Dirk Houston, I'm Dan Taylor. Thanks for joining us today. We'll again, like we said, we'll be back next weekend to do it all over again. This is The Front Stretch on AM 590.
The camper flying 18 flags is in. The guys on pit road are in. Second graders with mohawks, in. Bratwurst for your 25 closest friends. Bring it in. And because it's BYOB, your soft cooler is always in. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race at Kansas Speedway. Saturday, May 11th, under the lights. Tickets at kansasspeedway.com. You in?
Every race car driver has run into the same problem. It's well past normal parts store closing hours, but you need that one to finish your car. The guys who brought you White Knuckle Racing by the River bring you Joe's Karting Racing Parts and Tire Store. Open until 10 p.m. Monday to Thursday and open until 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. A parts store that fits your after-hours schedule, and you can turn a few laps at Joe's Karting while you're waiting for your part to get pulled from their warehouse. joeskarting.com for more information.
The official watering hole of the Front Stretch has you covered any day of the week with the best wings, great burgers, and amazing steaks. Each weekday from 4 to 6 is happy hour, featuring $1 off draft and well drinks plus $4 Luberitas. Mondays are kids' night. Tuesdays are all-you-can-eat wings for $12.95, and the lube even delivers to the Council Bluffs area. Like Quaker Steak and Lube Council Bluffs on Facebook for a full list of weekly events.
Get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Mid-America Drive, Council Bluffs.
This has been the Front Stretch Radio Show, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. To contact Dan or Dirk, find them on Facebook at The Front Stretch or email them at frontstretch590@gmail.com. If you missed any part of today's show or want to hear a previous show, subscribe to the Joe's Karting YouTube page, where you can find almost every Front Stretch show.